What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this extremely late review of Unexpected Season 5, Episode 2, Pregnant Again. So we're going to start off with Lily and Lawrence. It's Mother's Day. Lawrence walks into the kitchen and he gives flowers, beautiful flowers, to Lily, Aaliyah, and Lily's mother. I think her name is Gwen. I'm not sure. So, and he also makes them breakfast. So it was a really cute little scene. The mom is still struggling with Lily moving out, and she knows that it has to be done, but Lily and her mom are very, very close. Lily has been dependent on her mother ever since she had her first daughter, and Lily tells us that everything she's ever learned about being a mom, she learned from her own mother. And her mom has been there every single day since day one with Aaliyah, also has been there with, her having her son LJ. So her mom has been like a huge, huge support, and her stepfather as well. So it's hard for Lily too, but she knows that she has to do this. This has to be done. And I'm thinking like the mom can't be that far away from them. So anytime that she needs her mom or her mom needs her, it's just to drive away. We also get to meet Lawrence's mother, Grandma Sandy. She comes over to Lily's parents' house, and she also brings flowers for Mother's Day. And in the confessional with Grandma Sandy and Lawrence, Grandma Sandy says that the need that them moving out was very much needed. That it's a good thing. She's all for it. She says that they need their own space. They're at that age where they do need to move out and figure it out on their own. And she says that it would also be good for Lawrence because she says that then he will be home more if he had his own place. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, do tell, Grandma Sandy, what's really going on here? So it seems like, I guess, maybe Lawrence is not that comfortable living with Lily's parents. And maybe because of that, he's out more than what they led on to make us think, because I didn't think that Lawrence was the kind of guy. I mean, of course, he probably has friends and he hangs out, and that's perfectly normal. I'm not trying to imply that he's doing anything, lascivious or underhanded or anything like that. But Grandma Sandy did say that if they have their own place, Lawrence would be home more, as if he needs to be home more. So I get the impression that maybe Lawrence, is not that comfortable living with Lily's parents. And I think I've mentioned that before. So yeah, it's a good thing. And then Grandma Sandy says to Lawrence, so when are you going to get married? And Lawrence says he's not really in a rush to get married. He says, I just dropped almost 10,000 on this new apartment. So yeah, I'm not thinking about getting married anytime soon because I'm pretty sure the well has run dry. So they're preparing to move. Lily is unemployed. She's not working. And I guess the plan is that she'll stay home with the kids while Lawrence is going to be the one that's going to earn the income. And Lily's mother asks her, so how are y'all going to navigate this? Because y'all kind of treat money differently. Lily's a spender and Lawrence is definitely not a spender. He's very much the more frugal one of the two. And anytime that she needs money, she's going to have to ask him because she has no income of her own. So I don't know how that's going to work out. The foundation for Lily and Lawrence to me seems to be when you consider the fact how young they are, when you consider the fact the challenges that they have. For example, Lawrence taking on the role of father for Aaliyah, have no idea if Aaliyah's father is in the picture or not. Either way, whether he is or if he's not, it's still a huge responsibility for Lawrence, and he's stepping up to the plate, taking care of, another man's child, including his own. They're very, very young. Not only are they young in age, but Lily also seems to be very young in the mind. So I think that they're doing pretty good considering what they have to face. So I have no issues with them as a couple. I think they're going through the kind of stuff that most couples go through, the discussions or disagreements about money, trying to be on the same page with that, which I think they can probably handle. Lawrence comes off as a little bit rough around the edges, but I think he's probably just a really big teddy bear inside. And I think he really does care for Lily, and he does want the best for both of them. And guys like that are usually like, out and about, having a good time, going to college or doing whatever. This is the stage of his life where he would be, having the most fun, but he's working and raising a family and taking on the role of a stepfather, and he's only in his early 20s. So considering that they're still together, Aaliyah's 3 years old and they're still together, that really says a lot. And so I have a lot of confidence in this couple, but only time will tell how things are going to go between them. So I hope that they're going to be able to somehow get on the same page with the finances, seeing that Lawrence is the main breadwinner and Lily is the main spender. So moving on to Colin and Jason. Colin is 17, Jason is 18 years old, and this couple to me is extremely problematic. There are huge red flags all over the place. You can't even keep up. So Colin says that they're really good together. I think it wasn't. I think it was Jason that said this, that they're really good together because they like spending time with each other. She used to be really glued to her mother, but now she's really glued to him, and he likes that. He tells us that they do everything together. They go to the bathroom together. They shower together. She's always following him around. They're constantly together. Jason gives me very controlling tendencies. Like, he seems to be someone who, and I don't even know where he gets it from, because his father doesn't seem like that, unless his father's putting up a front. His dad doesn't really seem like that. So I don't know where this 18-year-old kid has these tendencies of being very, very controlling and chauvinistic with his girlfriend. And even though Colin probably thinks that it's so cute that I'm living with my boyfriend and his family. This is so cute. But I think this is something that he really encouraged because he wants to cut her off from her family and he wants to have complete control over her. That's what I see. It's just so strange to me. So, in their confessional, Kylan mentioned how much she really misses her parents because she was really, really close with her mother. And Jason said that she sounds like a baby when she talks about how much she misses her parents. And that this is what really was bothersome. Jason says that he's trying to make her an adult. And it was a good thing that Colin said, well, me missing my parents has nothing to do with me being an adult. I just miss my parents. So she spoke up for herself on that, and that was really, really good. But for him to say that she sounds like a baby because she wants to be around her own parents when he is living off of his parents and his parents are probably supporting them 100%, that's just really crazy to me. His way of thinking is way off. So Colin's parents, they come to pick up both her and Jason and take them over to their home, I guess, to spend time with them. Colin is very close to her mom, like I've mentioned before. She said that when she was younger, she struggled with like severe shyness and anxiety. And so her mother was like her protector and her comfort. Colin's dad says that he was really shocked when Colin got pregnant, and he said that he wanted to strangle Jason. He wanted to kill Jason when he found out that his little girl was pregnant. And to him, Colin will always be his baby girl, but he says he can't call her that verbally because Colin told him that only Jason can call her his baby girl. What? Excuse me? Dad, you can call your daughter whatever the hell you want to call her. If you want to refer to her as your baby girl, you better call her your baby girl until, the cows come home. You can't tell a parent what they can and can't call their child, especially, the fact that I think Colin is an only child. I think she's an only child. No, sir. Call your little girl whatever the hell you want to call her and forget about what Jason wants. So the parents talk about how much they miss Kylan, and I can only imagine, especially if she's an only child, to all of a sudden, she was there every day and now she's not there anymore. And plus she's pregnant. And I can just only imagine how difficult that must be for her parents, to have to deal with the fact that she's really young, she's not there anymore, and she's pregnant. And she's living with some chauvinistic, manipulative, obsessive, controlling guy. And I don't know what role Jason's parents are really playing. I'm not really understanding this at all. I'm not understanding why they were so okay with Kylan living with them when Kylan has parents who love her and support her and want to be with her. This is very unlike the situation where, like I said, I forgot, I don't remember their names, but in that last season where we have a young girl who lived with her boyfriend and his family because her mother was just really horrible. Her mother kicked her out. Her mother was like, you being pregnant does not fit into the plans that I had for you, so you got to go. So that girl had no choice. But Kylan has parents who are very supportive, very accepting, and I don't understand why they were okay with her living with Jason and his family. So the father tells us that even though they miss Kylan, they see that she is a lot more active living with Jason because they do a lot of activities. Then we see shots or scenes of her snowboarding and they're out on the water. They do a lot of fun stuff. Like they have a lot of hobbies. And so I'm beginning to wonder if Jason's family is more wealthy than Kylan's family. And so maybe that's why they thought it was a good idea for her to go live with them, because maybe they can offer her more as far as like financially. I don't know. So at first, okay, so Colin's dad, while they're driving to their home, he starts coughing. So this is when we realize that her father is very, very sick. He's dealing with a lot. He has COPD, he has heart failure, I think stage 3 heart failure, and he also has kidney disease. And a lot of his ailments stem from him smoking. He was a smoker for so long. And so Colin says that it really hurts her to see her father go through this, and sometimes that she has to step away. And then in their confessional, Colin says, you know what, me and mom told you so many times to stop smoking and you never did. And the father says, well, it is what it is now. But it could have been avoided, Dad. I mean, it's not just you suffering, it's your family suffering along with you, and it's you possibly not being able to see your grandson grow up. So it's more than what you think it is, and you can't say, well, nothing we can do about it now, it is what it is. But it could have been, what's the point of crying over spilt milk? So finally, they get to Colin's parents' house. And then Jason says that he thinks that it's really pushy for her parents to want to see Kylan, and it's irritating him. There is something wrong with this kid. There is something seriously wrong with him. He thinks that it's really bad that her own parents want to see their daughter, especially a daughter that's about to have a baby. And he says, we really need our own house and we need to be more independent. Okay, so what's stopping you? You're 18 years old. You're a legal adult. You're a legal adult in the United States. What is stopping you from being independent? Go make it happen, Jason. Go do it. Go buy the home. Go get the job, the 2 cars, the white picket fence. There is nothing in the world stopping you. Go make it happen. Colin's parents are really worried that they won't be able to see the baby as much as they want once the baby is born. That is going to be very, very interesting. I have a feeling that Jason runs his parents. I think they're the ones that he's the one that controls them. I think he's the one that runs the show in that house, because the parents seem like nice people. I don't know how they raised such a monster. They seem like really nice people, but they raised this monster, and I'm kind of worried that when the baby is born, he probably is not going to really want to be like a hands-on dad, but he's probably not going to want Colin's parents to step in either. But I could be wrong, and I hope that I'm wrong. But we'll see how that works out. Moving on to Emerson and Mason. So Emerson is leaving her doctor's appointment with her mom. She's about 37 weeks pregnant, and she's FaceTiming Mason in the car. Mason couldn't be there because his mom just got released from jail. So he's spending time with his mom, so he couldn't go with her to the doctor's appointment. So Emerson says that she met Mason's mom only one time. They talk about how Emerson had to swab herself, which I was like, what the hell is going on here? Why did she have to swab herself? And I'm talking about checking for in the nether regions. Like, I thought the doctors did that. Is it because of COVID? Like, what's happening here? That was so strange to me. But she had to swab herself. So we meet Mason's mother, Shannon. She's 46 years old. She just got released from, I guess, prison. I think she went from prison to rehab, and she just left the rehab facility. She had her first child at the age of 15. So once again, we see the cycle of teen pregnancies. And mom believes that if she had not been incarcerated, Mason would not have gotten Emerson pregnant, because she says that she would have had the talk with Mason, and maybe with Emerson too, because she seems kind of, like a controlling person. She said that she would have had a talk with Mason about, basically safe sex. She said that Then the father intervened and said, I did have the talk with him. I told him that if you do this, then that's going to happen. And the mom said, well, that's not what I meant. You can't talk about if you do this and that will happen. You have to give him, the things that he needs to prevent these type of things. So she means like, full on birth control, that she would have probably encouraged her son and Emerson, to take care of it in some kind of way with birth control so that this would not have happened. It wouldn't just have been, hey, make sure you don't do this because that can happen. So, so Shannon says that, no, excuse me. Ernie says that he believes that Mason is not ready to be a parent. And then he says, well, no one really is. Well, that's true. Even adults are not really ready to take on parenthood, but adults are a little bit more prepared than 17, 18-year-old kids who are still living at home with their parents. So this is going to be really interesting because there's a lot of tension with Erica, which is Emerson's mother, simply between Emerson and Erica, and then obviously between Erica and Mason and his parents. So this is going to be really interesting to see how this whole dynamic plays out. Once again, we didn't see Emerson's stepfather, Cy. I don't know what's going on with that. Moving on to Tyra and Layla. This is Tyra and Layla. It's not Tyra and Alex because they're broken up. So Tyra is at Patricia's house. Patricia being Alex's grandmother, who did a lot of the raising of Layla when Tyra went to school and Alex was just being Alex. So we meet Patricia, the grandmother, Alex's mom, and Nevaeh, which is Alex's mom's newest baby. So Layla and Nevaeh look just like sisters. They look so alike. It's incredible how much they look alike, but they're not. They're actually aunt and niece. Nevaeh is Layla's aunt, and so that's the dynamic there. So there was an incident where Alex's mom is holding her baby Nevaeh, and little Layla picks up a toy, I think, and she throws it, and it almost hit the baby. So Tyra picks up her daughter Layla, takes her into the bedroom, and, attempts to discipline her. Well, she's 2 years old, so she's really, really feisty and very, very sassy. So she comes running back out, Layla does, and she runs straight into her great-grandmother's arms. And, the grandmother comforts her. And so Tyra says that they spoil Layla. And this is probably how they raised Alex, because I think Patricia was also the one that raised Alex. They raised this, and so Tyra's like, they spoiled my daughter, and they probably spoiled Alex too while he was growing up, and there was probably no discipline or no consequences for him, and that's why he is the way he is. Just, I don't know what she meant by that. Like, what, because he's cheating on you? I don't understand. I didn't understand what she meant by that, because the last that I knew, Alex was working. He was the one that stayed behind to take care of his daughter, obviously with the help of his mother and his grandmother, while she was the one that went off to school to go do her thing and be a cheerleader. So when she said, well, this is the reason why Alex is the way he is, because he had no discipline growing up, I don't know exactly what she meant by that. Because were you saying that when he got you pregnant, or that only applies because he got another girl pregnant, that he's got no discipline and he has, no consequences? Because you weren't saying that when you were pregnant by him. So, Tara says that, baby Layla, what did she say? Baby Layla's. I have no idea what I wrote there. So Tyra is on her way to Maryland. She needs to go pick up her sister from Maryland and bring her back to Kentucky. Her sister is 18 years old and expecting her second child. So we're going to see more of her sister in this season than we did of last season. Alex is currently in Texas because Tyra asked Patricia, when is Alex coming back? Patricia said she didn't know. He's in Texas. I guess he's visiting his girlfriend there. And then there's this possibility of his new girlfriend possibly being pregnant. Now, what I thought was really interesting was when Tyra said that the deal breaker for her is if this new girlfriend of Alex is actually pregnant. That's going to be the deal breaker if he has a child with someone else. So the deception, the emotional issues that y'all had with each other, the breakup, him cheating on you, none of that was a deal breaker. All of that you could have just pushed aside and accepted him back. But how dare he get another girl pregnant? That's going to be your cutoff point if he gets another girl pregnant. So he could have been cheating on you with 100 different girls. That would have been just fine as long as he didn't get any of them pregnant. Like, what sense does that make? Girl, Tyra, you went to college and came back with nothing. So Alex's mom does not agree with Alex's wishy-washy ways because the mother says that, Alex is, first he's with Tyra, then he's not, then he is, and he's not. They're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, they're young and they're dumb. And then like Tyra said, there's no consequences for either one of them. So if the girl, if the girl in Texas is pregnant, Alex's mother wonders, how is Alex going to be a father for two children who live in two different states? How is he going to be able to be present for either one when they all live so far away? So, well, that's something that Alex needs to figure out. Tierra and Dee. Tierra is Tyra's sister. Tierra is 18. Dee is 21 years old. So Dee refers to himself as Tierra's life partner, which is true. Your spouse is your life partner, but do they not plan on getting married? Aren't there better benefits in the military if you're actually married? Ella is a handful. She's also, I think, 2 years old. So she's a handful. She keeps them on their toes. She's very, very busy. She's all over the place. Dee's in the military. Dee joined the military because he really didn't know what to do with himself, I guess, after high school, as far as career-wise. He didn't want to work in a factory. So he decided joining the military might be a good option for him. And it turned out working out really well because he loves being in the military, and because he also loves it because of the fact that it provides for him, and also it provides for his family as well. And I'm thinking to myself, don't military spouses get more benefits if they're actually married to the person who's in the military, or it doesn't make any difference? I don't know. Tyra still goes to Kentucky for her doctor's appointments, and this is the reason why Tierra still goes to Kentucky for her doctor's appointment, and this is the reason why her sister Tyra is going to go pick her up from the airport, or it's going to go to Kentucky to fly back with her because of her doctor's appointments and so on and so forth. She cannot get insurance in Maryland because she lost her Social Security card, so she can't enroll in any type of insurance in that state. So Tara is going to go all the way to Maryland so that she can fly back with her sister Tierra, and they need that to happen so that Tyra can help Tierra with her bags and the baby and all of that, because Tierra is, 32 weeks pregnant. To me, that just didn't make any sense to me. It really, really didn't. If you lost your Social Security card, why won't you just apply for a new one? Get a replacement card so you can get insurance in Maryland so you can stop all this back and forth. And what she would really only have to worry about as far as luggage, because I'm assuming she's not going to be staying in Kentucky for long. She's only going to go there for her doctor's appointment. So how much are you actually packing? So why not just pack one bag? And why does your child have to go with you? Why can't you leave your daughter with her dad? Like, I'm so confused about this. This just is, it's like too much. Like, just go, girl, get you a Social Security card. Order you another replacement Social Security card so you can have your doctor's appointments in Maryland, because none of this is making any sense unless y'all are just using this whole doctor's appointment thing as an excuse for Tierra to come back to Kentucky. I don't know. That's what makes sense to me. Anyways, that's what it is. This review was all over the place. I really do apologize. I didn't have my stuff together, but it is what it is. It's done. And I will be watching episode 3 tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far, please don't forget to rate the video, leave a comment if you want, but most of all, please don't forget to subscribe, and I will talk to you later. Bye.